Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for being today with us during this breakout session, Citizen-Driven Energy Transition. My name is Irma Botic, and I am Project Officer at the Joint Secretariat of Interreg Northwest Europe. So today we will have a quite interesting breakout session, but before we dive into the topics, I would like to remind you that you will be able to send us your questions through the Zoom chat, and we will come back to these questions at the end of this session. So in order to dive into the topic, I would like to pass the floor to Age, our contact point from the Netherlands, who will introduce you to the agenda and give you a short introduction about the topic and what has been achieved so far. So Age, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Emma. Thank you, all the participants. Nice to have you here. I saw a lot of familiar names on the list, and it's a shame that we cannot meet in person at the moment, but luckily things are going well with the pandemic, and we will be able to meet, well, within half a year, I guess. As you see, and thank you, Julia, for joining this presentation, I have to excuse Gary Bradley, the UK contact point, who was supposed to do this presentation, but who fell sick shortly before this meeting, so I'm taking over. I'm one of the two Dutch contact points, and I'm working for many years already for the program, and I'm happy to work for the next program for many, many years also. On the agenda is that I will tell you something about the topic that you see on the slide, the citizen-driven energy transition. Then Al Doherty will talk about the Interreg project, and Tom Schaake will explain more about the ECHO project. Julia, last but not least, will tell them this citizen-driven energy transition related topics, how this will be managed in the new program, how this topic will be managed in the new program. Irma already said it. If you have questions, please put them in the chat or wait for the Q&A session and put them in the chat then. So please, Julia, the next slide. Okay, the topic, it divides in two aspects. Of course, the energy transition issue, which means reducing CO2 and decarbonizing, for instance, industry, on the one hand, and the citizen-driven and community-oriented activities on the other hand. I will give you some overview of projects and some key figures. Next slide, please. In the current program, this topic was covered by two, what we call SOs, specific objectives. I will not go into detail about them, but one was aiming at strategies. The second was aiming more on technologies, products, processes, and services. And the third was really on a sectoral level, aiming at transport systems. Maybe the next slide, some figures. In the low carbon priority, which is one of the three that we have, we had 35 projects covering this low carbon theme, in which more than 160 million euros was allocated out of the 370 that we have for the current program. As you can imagine, citizen-driven can have many aspects. It can, of course, target citizens, so citizens being beneficiaries of projects developed. But of course, citizens or communities or citizen organizations can be members, partners, or sub-partners, or even associate partners in projects. But it's not limited. The citizen-driven aspect is not limited to priority 2 also. For instance, we have in priority 1, we have the sustainable housing for inclusive and cohesive cities, in which community land trusts are set up. And also in priority 3, you have several projects that really aim and have citizens as partners, like the charm projects, in which tenants are being asked what kind of house they want to live in, or the SharePair project led by the municipality of Leuven in Belgium that focuses on the repair industry. Maybe, yeah, and of course, I talked about other priorities, but in the low carbon priority, we have many projects like the CAN project, but already was mentioned by our director, the CVPP project led by the TU Eindhoven, and which I saw on the list also being as a participant. We have the E=0 and the Must Be Zero project led by the Dutch organization Energiesprong. And of course, we have Housing for Energy. These are only a few projects I'd like to mention very briefly, only by title. And maybe for the next slide, I can dig a bit deeper in 2 projects that I have to admit Gary chose, which I really like also. The GenCom, in the name, you see already the communities mentioned, the generating energy secure communities through smart renewable hydrogen. This project is based on to get communities more associated with the whole hydrogen transition. You see this slide. This is also based on the very nice brochure that we as a program have, based on all the impact that our projects have made. So look at our website. You can download the brochure, and this project is one of them. Please, Julia, the next slide. That is, of course, also in that brochure. The Red Wolf project, the Rethink Electricity Distribution Without Load Following, which focuses on smart hybrid storage systems for housing, including batteries and thermal storage, but also photovoltaic panels. Next slide, because I don't want to talk too long. Of course, you should stay connected. We are very happy if you would do so. And I don't think, as concluding words, that I exaggerate when I say that the new program will even have more possibilities for citizen-driven and community-oriented projects. But my colleague Julia will talk about it later on. But I would like to give the floor to the projects that would like to present themselves, starting with Edel and then Tom. Irma, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Geert, for your very interesting presentation. And as you said, maybe to stay on the same path when it comes to the projects that are being carried out in the Northwest Europe area, I would like to pass the floor to our project speaker, Adele, who will present you the project Interreg, a very brilliant idea. So Adele, the floor is yours.
Hi, Irma. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you all today. I just get rid of some video views here. I'm the project manager on the Interreg project, which is being run out of the National University of Ireland in Galway. During this talk, I want to give you a quick whistle-stop tour of our project and hopefully give you some ideas for what we are doing. Interreg is short for Energising Reduction to Reduce Greenhouse Gas Emissions. Sometimes I like to put it more simply, We want to enable 12 to 18-year-olds to change their behaviours and lead us to a more climate neutral Europe. Some key facts about the project. The project falls under the low carbon theme and will run until May 2023. There are a number of partners represented, or countries represented in the project, including Ireland, France, Netherlands, the UK, Luxembourg, and Germany. The project is also being developed and demonstrated in 13 schools across Northwest Europe. Building new schools or deep retrofitting existing schools can take years from planning to completion, so there is a need for low-cost solutions that enable long-term resource efficiency in schools. Our EU Building Energy Directives and climate change actions to 2020 and 2030 underpin this necessity. At the same time, schools are the place where we educate our future decision makers. So why not empower them and involve them in the process of making their own school more sustainable and climate neutral? Since energy consumption of buildings and indoor climate are interrelated, INERGE covers both topics and aims for healthy and energy efficient schools. INERGE wants to contribute to a climate neutral Europe. The way that we contribute is by using targeted physical interventions that combine a web-based platform and building sensors, including electrical meters, thermometers, indoor climate sensors, and so on, with behavioural studies and new educational approaches that enable schools to engage in energy and greenhouse gas mitigation. Long-term impacts are also consolidated by the development of additional educational material to supplement existing school curricula for 12 to 18-year-old students. One of the significant challenges for this project is the variance between how schools are managed throughout Northwest Europe. As a result, there can be sometimes limited opportunities for knowledge transfer or transnational cooperation. However, this challenge is also an opportunity. We can learn from each other, identify existing practices that offer energy savings, and talk to each other about our ideas and our goals for a climate neutral Europe. The INERGE project is currently being demonstrated in 13 schools across Ireland, the UK, France, Germany, Netherlands, and Luxembourg. This enables us all to collect our thoughts and ideas and identify solutions that are applicable across Northwest Europe. The INERGE team includes partners with technical, sociological, business, governance, pedagogic, and communications expertise. Through transdisciplinary collaboration, a number of tools and activities are currently being developed. Some of these you can see on the screen. For example, the INERGE web platform will bring together school-specific energy usage data and indoor climate data along with other school information. This will empower schools and various stakeholders in school management to take decisions to reduce greenhouse gas emissions in their school. The data on this platform comes from sensors and meters installed by the INERGE project team in each of the demonstration schools. We have also developed attitude and behaviour questionnaires for students, which have been used for baselining activities, and these will be repeated at the end of the project also to identify where changes in behaviours have taken place. In addition, our educational modules are being designed to educate future decision makers about energy, greenhouse gas emissions, and what their role is in protecting our climate. These modules will also assist in developing maths, science, engineering, and other skills in the student population. However, the project team cannot do this alone. We need the insights of the school population in order to design the best solution. And this is where the INERGE committees and teacher network get involved. To engage with the students, we've set up INERGE committees in each of the schools. These INERGE committees are groups of 3 to 5 students that promote the INERGE project within the school and organise the different project-related activities and with help from the project partners. Together with the committees, we have already completed multiple project activities, even during the uncertainty of the school closures that have happened during the pandemic. In the Netherlands, we can also make use of the Sense Lab, a facility from our project partner TU Delft. Here we can invite students to experience differences in light, temperature, noise, and humidity, with the goal here being to make staff and students more aware of the impact of their immediate environment on their performance and well-being. Of course, the pandemic has put a stop to these in-person activities at times, but we have replaced them with online activities to make sure our students are engaged. In addition to engaging with the students in the classroom, we also want to know if educating students in energy efficiency can have an impact on their energy behaviour at home. Do students have an impact on their parents and how their home is operated? To measure this, students will be asked to keep an energy diary in which home energy consumption is recorded. The project will compare these results against baselines and investigate if there is a measurable effect of the interventions done in school and the energy consumption behaviour at home. In terms of project activities, the INERG committees assist with the INERG web platform by getting involved in co-design sessions, which will steer the design of the final product. In addition to the INERG committees, we have the INERG Teachers Network, which is a single network of teachers from each of the demonstration schools across Northwest Europe. These teachers pilot the educational materials developed as part of the INERG project and feedback on potential improvements and how the materials could be tailored for each country. Both the INERG committee and the Teachers Network are also assisting in other tasks such as intervention strategies for each school, the development of key performance indicators which will be used to measure the school's performance, and the development of a school building stock audit methodology which will help their school identify an area of the building that could be more energy efficient. The INERG project has a number of activities which focus on long-term impact. One of these activities is to develop exploitation and business plans that will lead to widespread uptake and implementation of INERG outputs which are tailored for each region. The purpose of the business scenarios is to explore various possible future business settings and to determine the best market engagement strategy for the INERG platform. To do this, we have created 4 different future business scenarios for INERG, which will facilitate strategic discussion about the INERG platform. These business scenarios look at whether we should focus on building energy data only, educational information only, or possibly merge the two into a hybrid solution. There are a lot of different elements running concurrently in the project. Developing strong partnerships between the countries involved has been critical to rising to this challenge. Partnerships enable us to be flexible in how we problem solve and collaborate, and they help us build on each other's specialities and strengths. In my personal opinion, the best partnership in the project has been with the demonstration schools. The school students offer new insights every time we engage with them, and by combining these insights with the project team's specialities, we can identify a solution which is many times more effective than what would have been achieved otherwise. That pretty much brings me to the end of the presentation. It has been a whistle-stop tour. Again, I apologize, there are so many elements involved, it's hard to fit everything in. We were asked to give a little bit of an anecdote, and I think the last year has been tough for everyone. However, the biggest thing we have realized in the INERG project is that the global pandemic has sped up the development of digital collaboration tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams. These have really helped the project partners work better with each other and with the schools too. I hope once things return to normal, we will still continue to push the boundaries of technology to enable us all to communicate with one another and build up on our cross-border collaborations. Thank you very much for your time, and I want to hand you back over to Erwin.
Thank you very much, Adele, for your presentation and all the insights that you provided us with regarding your project. As I said, a very brilliant idea behind your project. So we have, as said before, another project that tackles more or less the same topic, but from another perspective. And therefore, I would like to introduce Tom, who will present the project ECHO and give us more insights about the realization and the idea behind. So Tom, the floor is yours.
So good morning to you all. I am Tom Schaken, energy consultant at Innovatiesteunpunt, the Innovation Services Center of Boerenbond, which is the biggest organization for farmers and rural development in Flanders, Belgium. I coordinate the Interreg project ECHO, creating new local energy community cooperatives, and I'm happy to present this project shortly to you. First, some key facts. The project started in September 2017 and will end in March 22. 15 partners from 6 countries are involved, and the project starts off based on the experience of 9 best practices energy community initiatives, which we call Beacon Echoes. I would like to share with you an explanation on the project scope and challenge, accelerating the energy transition.
In green energy production, policymakers often focus on the major players of the energy market. They are interested in renewable energy, but are less interested in sharing the socio-economic benefits with the local community. This group is too often burdened with the issues, such as the drop shadow of wind turbines, while the profits end up with the energy companies. As a result, citizens are quicker to turn against large-scale renewable energy initiatives. Renewable energy allows local communities to be not only consumers, but also producers of energy, reaping themselves the benefits of the energy transition. The countryside and the farmers nevertheless have many assets to generate renewable energy. ECHO is a Northwest European Interreg project and stands for Local Energy Community Cooperatives. ECHO aims to launch more local renewable energy initiatives with participation of citizens and entrepreneurs in Northwest Europe to make existing ECHOs more efficient and aims to convince policymakers. The project starts with a collected expertise of 9 existing ECHOs, which act as a beacon during the project period to inspire future ECHOs and policymakers. By establishing an ECHO accelerator network, the project ensures collaboration, bringing knowledge, experience and tools together throughout Northwest Europe. This knowledge has been made available on a platform where civil communities, entrepreneurs, farmers or policymakers can go for inspiration, support and guidance when setting up an ECHO. Ultimately, we want to help 50 new ECHOs with their startup and growth. Do you want to start up an ECHO yourself or contact one of the partner or beacon ECHOs? Surf to www.nweurope.eu/ECHO.
So for establishing this ECHO accelerator network and rallying a lot of tools, resources, knowledge and experience throughout Northwest Europe, we started this project to accelerate energy communities in their effectiveness and also in numbers. And we will bring all these tools and knowledge together in the ECHO one-stop shop. During the project, we aim for a setup of 50 new ECHOs that would produce 30,000 megawatt hours of renewable energy per year and reduce CO2 emission by 7,500 tons per year. To achieve this ambitious outputs, an Interreg project needs a well-balanced partnership. We need people with different backgrounds, different skills, different expertise and experiences, active in specific sectors or regions. You will need researchers, entrepreneurs and their organizations, consultants, policy support, communication experts, experienced project staff, stakeholders, etc., etc. But above all, you need enthusiasts, because working on an Interreg Northwest Europe project is really fun. The added value of an Interreg project is that you can exchange transnationally knowledge, expertise, and experience, and that brings new insights. And don't forget the informal moments during partner meetings. You will meet new approaches and contexts and will connect to each other's networks. These informal moments are sometimes even more important than the actual project work to strengthen the cohesion in the partnership. Small anecdote. Sometimes there is unexpected help by making the best of a bad situation. The beast of the east, a bad snowstorm during our first partner meeting in Ireland, blocked our home travels. We all had to stay in Killarney for an extra 3 days, and the intense being together created extra time and mutual understanding, which launched us and accelerated the project approach. And was this partnership effective? Yes, we achieved to develop things, as communities need a pathway to go when establishing and developing an energy community. We designed the eco development timeline and tools supporting their development. This methodology and tools were subject of more than 170 eco workshops, and we had 2 local eco accelerator events attended by 750 stakeholders. Results is that we supported 192 ecos, of which 26 are producing already renewable energy. And of course, there are also failures, so 35 stopped their eco development. At this moment, we produce with these new ecos 56 megawatt hours of renewable energy per year, and we reduce CO2 by 8,000 tons and more per year. By the end of the project, we aim for more than 40 ecos in production and hopefully 100,000 megawatt hours of renewable energy production a year and more than 15,000 tons of CO2 reduced also per year. In the future, it will be a challenge to get the EU directives transposed in every EU member state so that they facilitate ecos and give them a strong position as actors on the energy market. This is also the subject of our capitalization work package, in which we entered into collaboration with another Interreg project, CVPP, Community Virtual Power Plants, and aim for ecos to become reliable actors on the energy market. And of course, COVID-19 was a challenge too, but it brought us the insight that we should create a digital accelerator network where ecos can meet online and exchange their knowledge. So we added a social networking platform to the Eco one-stop shop. What is now a prototype will become, by the end of the year, the digital ecosystem for ecos. I thank you all for your attention and wish you success in your own projects.
Thank you very much, Tom, for your presentation. As I said before, we presented you 2 projects that are tackling the issue of citizen-driven energy transition from 2 different approaches. So far we had an introduction about the topic and what has been achieved so far in the past. We have showcased 2 projects that are currently implementing their ideas. And I think it's time to pass to our last presentation, which relates to the future of our program. What should we expect? What is next? And yes, what will be the idea behind? So I will pass the floor to my colleague Julia Eripré, who will present you the next program and give you some insights that are available so far. So Julia, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Irma, for this nice introduction. Good morning, everyone. And thanks for those nice presentations, very inspiring. I like the anecdote about the extra time given for partners to exchange. So my name is Julia Eripré. I'm working in Lille at the Joint Secretariat as head of the project unit. So my role today is to provide a quick overview of how the theme of energy transition will be tackled in the 21-27 programming period. Of course, everything is still under discussion, under virtual discussion, because we're doing all this negotiation virtually, as you can imagine. But I can already give you some hints about the future, as was mentioned this morning already. So smart and just energy transition for all territories is a major challenge for Northwest Europe, of course, and will be part of the Greener Europe pillar of the program. So priority 2 aims to boost the implementation of energy transition policies. And this priority is going to be structured around 2 specific objectives: energy efficiency measures and renewable energy. So the program approach smart energy transition shall occur by involving different stakeholders through multi-level governance models, of course, increasing stakeholder capacity to demonstrate, transfer and implement new and innovative integrated solutions. And of course, I would say citizens and communities will definitely be at the heart of this approach, which also means that the program will favor projects looking at the diffusion and the adoption of solutions rather than on pure technological development. So clearly, projects like Interreg or ECHO will really fit under this priority. So the program really intends to increase the capacity of communities for improving energy efficiency and increase the energy performance, for example, of dwellings, public buildings, transport and mobility, of district heating and cooling networks, for examples. And all this shall be done really by involving and engaging communities, consumers, and citizens, with the ultimate aim, of course, to avoid exclusion and energy poverty. So this is for the energy efficiency pillar. For renewable energy, specific objective 2.2, the aim is to improve the renewable energies production and consumption mix. So the potential for increasing the energy production from renewables is still high in many areas in Northwest Europe, in particular solar, biomass, hydro, geothermic, heat pumps, hydrogen, wind energy, and the deployment of renewables is still limited by lack of certainty regarding future investments, especially in some countries in Northwest Europe, and also by the persistence of legal barriers, for example, permits to issue. So here as well, the program will favor projects involving and engaging consumers and citizens. In terms of types of activities, future cooperation projects shall be implemented through at least one of the following categories of project activities, or all of them together. Elaboration and implementation of joint strategies or action plans, pilot actions for testing tools, solutions upscaled, which means that we will still finance investments in infrastructure and equipment in this program. And a third category is the capacity building and awareness raising activities. But of course, we still have to define more precisely what type of activities, what type of projects we are looking for in terms of quality, what we expect. So this is to be continued, this work. So the next steps, of course, is to now in this session is to network in these different groups and think of how you can really contribute in the future. You can already prepare for the first call for proposals, which will be launched in spring 2022, and of course follow all the latest news on northwesteurope.eu. So thank you very much, and we are happy to get some questions, I think, in the next round.
Yes, thank you, Julia. Hello, everybody. We have, to be honest, and to be quite exact, one question. And it's very nice to see from whom this question is. It's from Ruud Lauwers, our former director. This question may be for Julia to answer, because this is, of course, this is about a new program. The question of Ruud Lauwers is, where in the new 5 priorities or 9 specific objectives can you imagine projects on community energy transitions? Julia.
Hello, everyone. Again, hello, Ruud. It's funny not to see you, but hello. I think I have kind of answered that question already in my presentation. I think, projects on community energy transitions will definitely fall under this priority 2 on smart energy transition. So either through energy efficiency in general, or through the uptake of renewable energy in general. Yeah, so I think this is the answer to the question. Very clearly, this will be favored in the next program. And I think many of our projects, as mentioned by G earlier, will fall under this category. So there's a lot of room for and a lot of perspectives for these community-led projects and on energy transition as a whole. So we're really, I think, favoring much more, as I said, the diffusion of existing solutions, the diffusion in all the territories in a participative, collaborative mode, rather than really on developing new technologies. So I think this is really something that is important to keep in mind, that it will really be on this adoption and diffusion. I hope I have answered, and I don't see, of course, we can't really interact. That's the not so nice, but yeah, this is what I can say at this stage.
Really, can I not say anything?
Thank you, Julia. Maybe we can wait a couple more seconds. Maybe some questions will arrive, but I will use the opportunity to maybe explain you in the meantime how the session will be organized from now on. So after this Q&A session, on your screen will appear 6 round table titles, or let's say topics, and you will be able to choose one of them, and then you will be automatically redirected to the chosen round table. Once you are in the room, let's say this online room, a presenter will present you the topic during 5 minutes, and then you will have time to interact and to have, let's say, a sort of dialogue with other participants on the given topic or the chosen topic of your round table. This will last until 11:55, and then you will be automatically redirected to the plenary session in order to wrap up the whole event. So this will be the explanation in short. I hope it was clear. And yes, as I can see, we have received some new questions. So maybe G or Julia would like to take over and answer on them.
Yeah, as we have still 2 minutes left and two questions coming in, I start with the first that got in after Ruud. It's from Frédéric Marquet. Will the pupils' target be still taken into account in the new programming period? Are they a priority? I don't know if I really understand the question well. Julia, are you possible to answer? Or maybe maybe Adele? Yeah, of course. Maybe Julia.
Yeah, I can try. Yeah, no, of course, I think in general, we are going to look for projects involving citizens, pupils, communities as much as possible. And I think we're really looking for this, what we call this place-based approach projects, integrated territorial development. Probably you've heard about this concept earlier. But I think, yes, the more you involve the citizens, the pupils, the new generations, this will, I think, will really increase the quality of the impact of your project. So definitely, I think it's clearly a priority for the next program.
Thank you, Julia. And maybe finalizing with also, you see that the Interreg world is a small world. My former colleague, my beloved former colleague, Jacqueline Brouwer, the question from her is, can citizen science get a place? Or is it seen as a way to activate and include citizens for energy-related projects? maybe I can start with answering, knowing also about the developments of the projects, and then maybe Julia can take over. I think it absolutely can get a place, citizen science. So I hope we get a lot of very interesting citizen science-based projects in the next programming period. Julia, you want to add something to it?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
No, I can only confirm. Maybe I can also go to the next question. Maybe we have 1 or 2 minutes left. There was a comment from Sean de Beutler. I don't think I pronounced very well. It would be great if it was possible to offer a higher rate of funding to not-for-profit organizations taking part, as it is often difficult for them to raise match funding, and it would spread the levels of participation. Yeah, I fully understand this comment. It's true that for small organizations, things are not so easy to integrate those complex, sometimes Interreg projects, and the match funding issue is an issue. I would say that at this stage, the grant rate is still foreseen to be 60%, but there are talks and negotiations about how to attract new and small organizations, maybe through what we could call small-scale projects, so projects with the lower budgets and with a reduced scope. But this is still under discussions. But I can tell you that there will be ways in the next program to include, involve, and make things easier for smaller organizations, also in terms of administration and requirements. But this is, of course, still under negotiation, so I cannot say really anything very tangible at this stage. But it's a real issue, and I think if we want to involve those organizations, indeed we have to also adapt and make things easier for them.